Hello, TypeTwice here. In today's video, I'll be showing you how to create a grid in Adobe Illustrator. So without further ado, let's get right into it. As you can see, I created a new Illustrator document and I've just created an artboard right here. Let's say we actually want to create a grid. The first thing we want to do is to then go up to our top bar right here, and we want to choose View, and then we want to go down where it says Show Grid, and we want to press on this. And now look what happens with our artboard. We are now getting this standard grid right here. So let's say we actually want to change this grid. We can do that by going up in the top menu again right here and choose Edit. Then go down to Preferences and choose Guides and Grid. And we can see that this Preferences panel will now show up. And in here we have the guides right here and we have the grid. And it is the grid we want to change. So in here you can see we have some different options. The first one is the color of the actual guides. So if you press on the custom right here, you can choose a color. And you can also choose your own color. If you just click on this gray color right here, you can just choose whatever color you would like to use as your grid. I'll just set this to gray. I think that is just fine. Then we have the style of the actual grid, and it is right now set to lines. You can also choose dots if you would like that. I prefer the lines, but that is totally up to you. Next we have the grid line area, which is the actual size of the grid. You can see that this is right now set to 72, but you can actually set this to whatever you would like. So if we try to set this up, let's say 200, if we now press OK, look what happens with our grid. As you can see, our grid is now scaling up in size. We now have a much bigger grid with not as many boxes. So let's just go in again to Preferences, choose Guides and Grid, and we can just set this back to 72. The next is the subdivisions, which is right now set to 8. And what this is actually how many boxes there is horizontally and vertically in one of these boxes in our grid. So as you can see, it is now right now set to 8, and that means that there is 8 boxes horizontally right here and 8 boxes vertically. We can set this to 2 just as an example. And let's just set the grid line area back to 200 so we can see the changes. So if we now press OK, we can see that we now have 2 horizontally and 2 vertically. If you want to go to the preferences a bit faster, you can also use the keyboard shortcut Ctrl K, and it will instantly open the preferences. And then we can just go down to Guides and Grid right here. So yeah, that is actually how to create a grid in Adobe Illustrator. If you want to see how to actually snap objects to the grid, you can see my other video in the cards right here. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this video was helpful. Don't forget to subscribe and like the video. That was all for now. See you in the next one.